morning, students. Today's chapter is about the fun they had, which is the first chapter of your Ncert class 9th book. Now, this is a very unique story. Do you know why? Because this story is set in the future. Now, what will life be in the future? Have you ever imagined? Will there be machines? Will there be robots? Will there be aliens? What will happen? Will we become lazy? What will happen? So this particular story will be an answer to your imagination. This particular story is set in the year 2157. Can you imagine how things will be in the year 2157? Now see, you know that science and technology have made rapid advancements in the modern day. Now can you imagine how science and technology will be in the future? Will there be robots or what will happen? So let us find out how the story will be like, or how the story of the future be like. Now the story revolves around two characters, that is Tommy, who is a 13-year-old boy, and Margie, who is an 11-year-old girl. Now the story begins like this. Tommy one day finds an actual book in the attic of his house. Students, do you know what is the meaning of attic? Attic refers to a small room in the roof of the house which is used as a storeroom. So basically, Tommy finds a book that was kept in the storeroom or the attic of his house. Now, the book seems to be very unusual for the two kids. Do you know why? What is so unusual about the book? It is because Tommy and Margie are acquainted to read or learn through the computers. They are acquainted with the moving texts in the computer. As you know, in the computer screens or in the monitor, the texts keep on moving as you read. So they are acquainted with that type of reading and learning. They have never seen a printed book in their lifetime. So what is their reaction? So it is a very new thing for Tommy and Margie. They do not understand what it is. So Tommy and Margie see that there are letters or words written in the book, and they find it awfully funny. Now what is so funny about the book? They say that the book had words which were fixed in one place. The words were not moving. So that is why it was very funny for them, as they were acquainted with the moving texts in their computer screens. Now, Tommy said that the book is very boring. Now, what is so boring about the book? The book was boring because it only had one story, whereas their machines had countless number of stories or numerous texts in them or numerous lessons in them. Now, Margie asks Tom what the book reads or what the book tells about. So Tommy clarifies that the book tells about school. Now, Margie does not like the idea about school. Do you know why Margie does not like school? Now here I want to clarify that Margie's school is very different from our present day school. Now what is different? In our present day school, the teacher and the students gather together in one place and make learning possible. Whereas Margie's school is actually a small room in her house where a machine is kept. The machine has a monitor attached to it which displays the lessons. It has an assignment slot. Do you know what is an assignment slot? Just like you have DVD and CD players in your computer that draw the CD into the CPU. Similarly, this assignment slot draws Margie's homework and corrects it. The machine corrects Margie's homework and the result is displayed in the computer screen. So Margie is acquainted with this type of teaching or this type of machine teacher. She is not acquainted with the schools that we study in. So Margie has been facing a lot of problem with this school or with this machine teacher. Now what has happened? She has been not performing properly in the geography tests which the machine has been conducting. Now what is the problem? She does not know. Now one day Margie's mother becomes upset of her geography results. So Margie's mother calls the county inspector. Now you must be wondering, who is this county inspector? Is he some kind of police? No. County inspector is actually a person who is actually a mechanic who fixes these machine teachers. In case there is a problem, these county inspectors fix the problems or repairs these machine teachers. Now the county inspector comes and he finds out the problem in the machine. He finds out that the geography sector of the machine is having problem. Now just like your computer has different parts like the arithmetic unit, the logic unit and the control unit. Similarly, Margie's mechanical teacher or the computer also has different sectors or segments. Now, for example, there is a segment to give literature lessons. There is a segment for geography. There is a sector for chemistry. There is a sector for physics. So, different sectors give different lessons to Margie. So, somehow there was some problem in the geography sector and Margie could not follow the lessons or the test that the computer was giving in the geography sector. Now, the county inspector, as I told you, had come to fix the problem of the mechanical teacher. The county inspector identifies that there is a problem in the geography sector of the machine. Now, what was the problem? The problem was that the level of the geography sector was too high for Margie to follow. So, the inspector lowers the level of the geography sector in order to suit Margie's level. So there was some problem in the geography sector which had made the level of this geography sector to rise. Now the county inspector fixes the problem and assures Margie's mother not to be unhappy and everything will be fine with the little girl. So Margie sighs. So this is what Margie remembers in the story. Now coming to the present point in the story, Margie is very inquisitive. Do you know what is the meaning of inquisitive? She keeps on asking questions. She interrogates. She becomes very curious about the book. Now Margie asks further about the book that Tommy has discovered. Now what does she ask? So Margie asks what the book reads further. So Tommy says that the book tells about the schools and how human teachers taught in those schools. Now this is a very funny fact for Margie. Margie finds it strange that how could a human teacher teach in schools? Now Margie at this point is having a misconception. She is thinking that these human teachers in the past used to go to the individual houses of the children to teach. But Tommy immediately clarifies that the teacher and the students of the past used to gather in a building known as school where the teacher imparted the teaching and student acquired the learning. Now Margie is still dissatisfied with that type of learning. Do you know why? Because she does not like that a human teacher is teaching the students. Now what is the problem with the human teacher teaching the students? She thinks that human teachers are not smart enough or are not intelligent enough just like her computer. So they are incapable or they cannot teach the students. This is what Margie thinks. But Tom immediately clarifies her misconception, saying that even human beings are as smart as machines. And he even gives an example of his own father, saying that his father is as smart as a machine. So just like this conversation moves on, immediately at that point Margie's mother calls out to her. Now what does Margie's mother say at this moment? She calls her in order to attend the school. Now Margie and Tommy immediately get up, leave the book and go to their respective school rooms in order to get their education. So just as Margie enters her room, she finds that the computer or the mechanical teacher has already been switched on by her mother. Just like you switch on your computer in order to perform your tasks, similarly Margie's mother had switched on the mechanical teacher in order that Margie can come and get the lessons. So just as Margie comes before the computer, immediately the mechanical teacher asks Margie to deliver her yesterday's homework in the assignment slot. This is the assignment slot where Margie has to insert her homework, and the computer displays some arithmetic lessons and Margie is completely unhappy. She thinks about the time of the past. She thinks that the students and the teachers were having a lot of fun in the past. Do you know why? Because they all gathered together, they learned together, they read together, they shared tiffins together, there was cooperation, friendship, etc. There were values which they shared among each other. So learning was fun, and this is what makes Margie to sigh in grief. She becomes very sorrowful that she does not enjoy the type of fun which the past students used to enjoy. So she continues with her lesson in grief and unhappiness. So that's all for today. Thank you.